In the spectral silence of space, the ghost soldiers continued their clandestine campaign, striking at the core of the Galactic Council's territories. Each mission further cemented their enigmatic legacy, intertwining their presence into the fabric of both galactic fear and admiration. Aboard the cloaked command ship, the Phantom's Wraith, Captain Aurea Knox reviewed the holographic star maps, her features bathed in the ghostly blue light. Around her, the muted sounds of her crew resonated, a symphony of whispered strategies and ghost-like efficiency. Status report on the Eridani dockyards. Aurea commanded, her tone low but clear. Completely evacuated, ma'am, responded Lieutenant Mira Cole, her focus unwavering from her datapad. No casualties reported. High-value assets were secured. They're still clueless about the strike. Aurea nodded, the corners of her lips curling into a slight smile. This was their fort. Silent strikes, leaving no trace but the haunting aura of mystery, and the munitions they were amassing. Dispersed to the cosmic winds, interjected Sergeant Hal Rourke. His broad shoulders relaxed as he recounted the operation. We planted charges along their power cores. It was a light show worthy of a nebula. A quiet chuckle rippled through the crew, though the laughter never quite reached Aurea's eyes. Her gaze drifted into the distance, reflecting on the role they had assumed in the galaxy, as boogeymen. A necessary evil, but at what cost? General Tharkish's response to their escalating legend was swift and severe. Through intercepted communications across the Council's channels, Aurea learned of heightened security measures and bounties for any information leading to the ghost soldiers. They're branding us as phantoms of vengeance, Mira read aloud from a decrypted message, her voice laced with a mix of amusement and incredulity. Apparently, we're now the top threat to galactic peace. Let them be scared, Hal replied gruffly. Fear keeps the smaller predators at bay. While Aurea understood the strategic value of their fearsome reputation, her heart, intrinsically human, yearned for a day free from ghostly duties. She addressed her crew, her family forged in the crucible of war. We continue as planned, she declared. But remember, we are not the monsters they portray. Our mission is to protect Earth, not to become the villains of the galaxy. As they prepared for their next operation, high-risk infiltration of the Council's War Council on the lush world of Vesper, Aurea felt the burden of her command. Every decision could mean salvation or doom for her team, and potentially for all of humanity. Disguised among the market crowds, Aurea and her team moved with a fluid grace, unseen yet ever vigilant. They communicated through subtle signs, a silent language honed over countless missions. As they neared the summit location, Aurea's communicator buzzed discreetly. "Captain, we have a problem," whispered Mira, her voice tense. "Tharkish is here. He's moved up the meeting schedule." Aurea's mind raced. Tharkish's presence complicated matters significantly. His animosity towards the ghost soldiers was palpable, his cunning almost anticipating their every move. "Adjust the plan," Aurea instructed calmly. "We go in now, before they secure the perimeter." "Hal, you're with me." Mira jammed their communications. No calls in or out. Inside the summit hall, cloaked by their advanced technology, Aurea and Hal positioned themselves above the gathered warlords. Below, Tharkish vehemently spoke of the phantom menace, his voice a blend of fear and anger. "We must eradicate these ghosts," he proclaimed, slamming his fist down. "They are mere shadows, and shadows falter in the light." Exchanging a glance with Hal, Aurea knew it was time. Silently dropping from the rafters, they landed amidst the stunned warlords, decloaking just long enough to make their presence known. "Shadows we may be," Aurea declared boldly, her voice resonant and eerily calm. "But remember, General, it's the shadows that protect you from the blinding light." Before the room could descend into panic, Aurea activated a smoke bomb. enveloping their escape in a shroud of confusion. Tharkesh's shouts faded into the billowing mist. Back aboard their ship, the crew celebrated another spectral victory. Yet, Aurea stood at the viewport, gazing at the stars. They had succeeded today, but the galaxy was vast, and their battles were far from over. Each victory sowed more seeds of myth. Each escape deepened the legend of the ghost soldiers. And as the galaxy spun on, Nox, the Phantom Captain, pondered if there would ever come a day when she could step out of the shadows and into the light. In the bustling Galactic Council war room, lights flickered and screens pulsed with streams of data. General Tharkesh stood at the epicenter, his towering figure casting a long shadow across the holographic map that depicted the tactical quagmire his forces faced. Today, he was determined to extinguish the legend of the ghost soldiers once and for all. "Coordinates are set, General. We're ready to initiate the trap," declared Commander Yilrek, his tentacles twitching with anticipation. Tharkesh nodded, his eyes fixed on the glowing dots that signified the suspected whereabouts of the ghost soldiers. "Launch the encirclement. Let's flush out these phantoms." The plan was deceptively simple yet ambitious in its scope. A Fox distress signal from a high-value cargo ship served as bait, aimed to draw the ghost soldiers into a remote sector rigged with quantum sensors. These sensors, designed to detect the slightest phase shift disturbances, were a direct countermeasure to the ghosts' elusive tactics. Observing from the command center aboard the Spectre, Aurea Nox's expression remained stoic. The distress signal had certainly caught their attention, and her instincts screamed of a trap. Nevertheless, the chance to procure quantum technology was too critical to pass up. It could provide a significant tactical advantage or spell their doom. "Options?" Aurea inquired, her voice slicing through the bridge's tense silence. "We go in, Captain. We know it's a setup, but if we can secure some of that sensor tech," Lieutenant Harrow suggested, his finger poised over the tactical display. Aurea weighed the risks. Each mission brought them closer to potential discovery and destruction, yet each also offered deeper insights into their adversaries. "Prepare for a silent jump. We move in, secure what we need, and phase out before they can encircle us." Within moments, the Spectre and its escort ships materialized at the sector's edge. The cargo ship appeared adrift, its lights dimming intermittently. Aurea and her team, clad in phase suits, teleported aboard, their bodies flickering as they acclimated to the ship's solid interior. As soon as they boarded, the trap was sprung. Alarms blared, and the sector teemed with council ships, deploying quantum nets that unfurled like lethal ribbons in space, designed to disrupt facing and ensnare them both physically and temporally. "Captain, they're jamming our teleport signals," one of the ghosts exclaimed, his voice tinged with panic as he evaded a flurry of energy blasts. "Manual override, now," Aurea ordered, her mind racing to find an alternative as their primary advantage evaporated. She led her team through the cargo ship's corridors, exchanging fire and moving with a precision that belied their desperate circumstances. Back on the Spectre, Harrow frantically recalibrated their phase technology to outmaneuver the quantum nets. "Almost there, Captain. Just a bit more time." Each passing second was a gamble against Tharkesh's tightening trap. Aurea and her team reached the cargo ship's mainframe, swiftly downloading critical data on the quantum sensors. Treasure trove, albeit one that placed them squarely in the enemy's crosshairs. Tharkesh's voice boomed over the ship's communication system, his tone dripping with confidence. "Surrender, ghosts. You are outmatched and surrounded. There is no escape this time." Aurea activated her mic, her response cool and measured. "General, your fixation with us might just be your undoing." As the Council's forces converged on their location, Harrow's voice crackled in her earpiece. "Got it. New phase pattern locked in. Engaging now." Surge of energy pulsed through the ship, and Aurea and her team vanished from existence, slipping through the quantum net like specters in the night. They reappeared on the Spectre, the stolen data in hand, a key to future triumphs. In the war room, Tharkesh watched in disbelief as the signals representing the ghost soldiers disappeared from his screens. His trap had failed, his fists clenched in suppressed rage. Horia surveyed her crew, their faces illuminated by the soft light of the command screens. They had skirted the brink of annihilation and prevailed. Allowing herself a rare smile, she praised, "Well done, team. Let's take this fight back to them." With that, the Spectre leaped into hyperspace, leaving behind a trail of confounded adversaries and deepening the legend of the ghost soldiers. In the vastness of space, their tale of invincibility spread, whispered across 1,000 worlds.